Hey boys and girls, welcome to a flip video. Tonight's video is going to be word problems with adding and subtracting fractions. So it's not necessarily too new. There's one small thing that's new, but the bulk of the video is going to be stuff you already know. So it's going to be all about me cooking. And it said Mr. V made a pan of brownies. He ate 1/5 of them because I was very hungry. Connor went and spilled 1/3 of them, and he gave 1/10 of them to his friends. How much of the brownies are left? Now, one thing you might notice is that it doesn't say how many brownies I started with. Like, it doesn't say the pan had 24 brownies, it had 36, it had 12 brownies. It just says that I made a pan of brownies, which means that I started with one pan. And with one, we can represent that as 8/8, we can represent that as 10/10, we can represent that as 5/5. However, we can't just pick what we want that one to be. We need to figure out what that needs to be. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to find the least common multiple of the 5th, the 3rd, and the 10th. So we do 5, 3, 10. And so counting out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, there's my 5 there. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now I don't see a match between all three, so let's extend these out a couple more. Let's see a 30, and then 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. So I see they do all have a 30 in common, so that one pan of brownies is going to actually be represented by 30 over 30. Alrighty, so we've now determined that the one pan is going to be represented as 30/30ths. Now we need to do, or create, like denominators, and that's when we're going to start doing our chant. So we have 1/5 times something equals something over 30. 5 times what gives me 30? That's a 6. Multiply 6 times 1 will give me 6/30ths. Move on to the 1/3. 1/3 times something equals something over 30. 3 times what gives me 30? That's 10. 1 times 10 gives me 10. And 1/10 times something equals something over 30. 10 times 3 will give me 30. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 1 times 3 gives me 3 over 30th. Now there's a couple ways that I can do this. I find it's easiest if I add up all of these and then I subtract it from that. Another way you can do it is you can subtract each one from 30 and go on from there. But if I do 6 plus 10, that gives me 16, plus 3 gives me 19. So then I do 30 30/30ths minus 19/30ths, and that would give me 11/30ths. So I would say that there were 11/30ths left. So now to review, before we go into our next problem, I noticed that I had one pan of brownies. That's where this one came from. I needed to have it in a fraction so I could subtract, so that's how I came up with 30/30ths. I then converted all of these into 30ths, and then I simply added 1, 2, and 3, got 19 over 30, and then I subtracted it. So now it's your turn to try. My friends wanted some lemonade to go with the brownies, so I made a jug. And so my friend Dave drank 1/4 of the jug, and Sam drank 1/3 of the jug. I want to know how much was left for me. So again, I don't tell you how many ounces are in the jug. I have one jug. Think about how you can represent one jug. Pause the video now, do your best to solve it, and then we'll work through it together. Alright, so hopefully you have now realized that one jug needs to be represented in a fraction. So I'm going to draw myself a 1 equals a fraction. Now I'm going to take the 4th and the 3rd. I said that backwards as I was underlining this. So 4, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I see they have a 12 in common as their least common multiple. So that 1 is actually going to be 12 twelfths. So you can think maybe there's like 12 servings in there, and all 12 servings are available right now. Now I need to change the 1/4. 1/4 times something equals something over 12. 4 times what will give me 12? 3. And I can use my number chart here, 1, 2, 3, to figure that out. Whatever I do the bottom, I do the top. So 3 over 12. And then 1/3 times something equals something over 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever I do the bottom, I do the top. 4 times 1, this gives me 4. And then again, I find it's easier if I add these two. So 3 plus 4 gives me 7 twelfths. And then I go ahead and I subtract that. 12 minus 7 gives me 5 twelfths. So I know that there is 5 twelfths of the jug available for me to drink. So again, to review, I realized I had one jug, didn't know how much was in that jug, so I had to represent that as just one jug. Converted it into fractions by finding the least common multiples here. Converted the fractions into like denominators. And then I went ahead and I just subtracted. It seems like a lot, but when you start thinking of 1/2 as a full fraction, then it makes it a little bit easier. So this is your bring back to school problem. And it says that they're still hungry, so they ordered a pizza. Mr. B ate 1/2 of the pizza and the other two ate 2/6. How much was uneaten? Again, we don't know how many slices were in this pizza. We just know that I ate half of the whole pizza, the other two ate 2/6 of the whole pizza. Figure out how to solve that, bring it back to school, and I'll see you in the morning. Hey boys and girls, this is just a quick bonus video here, because this is something that when I was doing Snowdo Hangout it came up, which makes subtracting a little bit easier. So going to the problem, like if we have the one pitcher of lemonade or something along that lines, rather than turning this 1/2 into something like, the 12 over 12, we could just take this as one problem here, the 1 minus 1/4, and do it like here. So what I mean by that is you could turn the 1/2 into 4 over 4 minus 1 over 4, 1/4, which give us 3/4. And then you would then subtract this, so minus 2/3. So then we would do the same process for a 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, which would make this over 12. So 3/4 times something equals something over 12. 3, 3. So 9 twelfths minus 2/3 times something equals something over 12. 4 over 4 would give us 8. 8 over 12. And then that would give us 1/12. So this was, like I said, a really quick bonus. All it was changing this 1/4, or this 1/2, into 4 over 4 instead. So I'm going to just add this to the end of the original video.